Hi there, this is Professors Jacob Bodway and Professor Matt Fox from Monroe Community College. Today we're going to cover ALP online best practices for those who are interested in maybe adopting this model in the future. We have a few topics to cover today. Firstly, background information, then IT concerns with instructional technology, course structure, course content, actual instruction, and then if you have a Q&A you want to send us maybe via email, we'd be happy to answer any of those questions. So to begin with, we're going to start with background information, and I'll let Matt Fox take care of that.
Hi, I'm Matt Fox. So we started an ALP pilot about 2 years ago here at MCC. And what we initially did is we took an old prerequisite composition course, a developmental, and kind of retrofitted it into an ALP format because it was a pilot. That course was TRS 105. It had been put online as a standalone prerequisite course. I did that. And it ran for about 2 semesters before we started the ALP. And I then went and put the ALP online, partnered in a 2-teacher model with Jacob for a couple semesters. He taught the English 101, I taught the 105. And then more recently, Jacob has taken over both in the 1-teacher model. So the 105, like I said, focused on the academic essay. A little bit of research, source evaluation, stuff like that, but it was very heavy on essay fundamentals, thesis statement, organization, stuff like that. We had a not so impressive success rate with TRS 105 in general. We only had about 39.5% of the students even register for English 101 after they had passed it, and 18.5% ended up passing English 101 with a C or better. So we really did want to improve that. And, the ALP has. In spring of 2017, we, like I said, retrofitted some of the 105s for the ALP pilot. One of those, we had 4 sets of ALP courses. One of those was an online. We also had one in the evening, one at our big suburban campus, and one at our downtown campus. We wanted to try it everywhere. And, I used some stuff from my old section, but really totally redesigned the course, more or less, because it was ALP and it had to focus on Jacob's English 101. We scaled up the pilot over subsequent semesters, and it's been pretty successful. The TRS 105 was a writing-only course. We chose that initially because we thought that was the population of students who would be most successful or most likely to be successful in ALP. They had a fairly high reading level. We had 2 integrated reading and writing courses below ALP. We still do. And we're slowly scaling down into those as well. But we ended up adding a reading CLO to TRS 105 because even though the students tested fairly high in reading, they still needed help. For example, just understanding the assignment guidelines and things like that. And of course, in online, that's magnified a bit. They're reading everything, watching videos too, but there's a lot more reading generally. Later on, it's being offered this spring for the first time. We developed a dedicated ALP course, TRS 099, and 105 has, gone the way of the dinosaurs. It's over. So we offer right now, like I said, 2 levels of developmental IRW before ALP, 100 and 200. And we're expanding ALP to encompass all students who can succeed in it. So we envision scaling it down into TRS 200 as far as it can go, and having perhaps 1 level of IRW in the long run for the students who really have profound needs coming in at the beginning. We're also restructuring placement. We're going to be working this June on coming up with a multiple measures placement approach because we've been using AccuPlacer and that hasn't been entirely great.
All right, so I'm back here for IT concerns. Some of the major questions and concerns that I asked our IT department concerned these 3 topics: merging courses, ADA compliance, and following the OSCAR course design. So merging courses is probably the biggest challenge that the IT department faces when we have an ALP course and an English 101 course, or a TRS course and an English 101 course. So the master schedule, the banner, automatically splits these sections into 2 separate classes: ALP students on one side, 101 students on the other side. So what the faculty need to do here at MCC is fill out what we call a merge request form every single semester. And if you forget to do this a couple of weeks before the semester, you're probably not going to have the ability to merge your courses. So it's something that faculty need to stay on top of. Then the instructional technology staff then manually merge these sections. And again, it's the biggest hurdle from an IT perspective. So what we recommend is speaking to your own IT department about merging these sections and other hurdles they may anticipate. Again, the IT department, it's not a huge issue, but as ALP expands at the college here, they'll be focusing more on merging problems. And this is something that we want to try to nip in the bud as early as possible. So what merge courses look like, it kind of cleans up your blackboards in my courses space. It does a really nice job of merging the two classes, the ALP students or the TRS students and the 101 students into one course shell. So this allows you to view the gradebook by section, which is very helpful. So for example, I can focus specifically on the TRS students or specifically on the 101 students and look at how their attendance is affected, perhaps where they're having problems with discussion board, quizzes, assignments, or essays. It also helps kind of, when you look at the My Courses space on Blackboard, it eliminates two whole courses if you're teaching two sections of ALP like I am this semester. ADA compliance is the Americans with Disabilities Act. Most of you are probably aware of this. This is a SUNY-wide push. Documents should be properly formatted for screen reader software, so the font should be about 12-point font. I usually use Arial heading, having hyperlinks that aren't just the actual link, but actually tell the student where they are going. The IT department said that accessibility is extremely important and that most SUNY institutions will be offering a course shell that is ADA compliant. So again, speak with your own IT department about getting that course shell right off the bat and building your ALP course from that shell instead of starting from scratch. The IT department basically said that content is up to the instructor, so videos and PDF files are preferred, and schedule a workshop with instructional technology or hold a professional development workshop over the summer. We did this last summer, and basically it gave us 3 weeks to just work on building a class following the ADA compliance and the OSCAR rubric. So the OSCAR rubric is basically the same thing. It's a SUNY-wide push. They're looking for having more printable documents, less HTML documents, so printable CIS and syllabus, links to privacy policies and tech tools, and trying to use open educational resources whenever possible. If you're teaching online, the standard usually is you're using online materials anyway. So OER is pretty easy online, but again, there's other resources for that to find actual OER materials. This does take many months to comply with the rubric. I'm still working on it right now. And also, you want to try to keep the course design as similar as possible to most Blackboard course shells around the college in Open SUNY course design. This just allows students to transition between courses in a seamless manner without having to relearn a specific instructor's Blackboard course. So again, the course structure. We want to keep the layout and appearance nearly identical between TRS and English 101. Stagger course schedules and due dates, and in announcements, I use Screencastify in my announcements. So layout and appearance. Consistency does help the students transition from one section to the next without relearning Blackboard, and this does follow the OSCAR requirements. You can see here in my class, the welcome start here, course information, my instructor. This is my TRS 099 class, this is my English 101 class. They both have the same format, the same layout, exactly the same throughout the entire semester. So it's easy for students to see the connection between both courses. I also stagger my schedules. I've tried to connect the content in my TRS 099 class, which is right here, as much as possible to my English 101 course. All right. Students can then easily draw relationships between these sections, and I do a Monday, Wednesday, and Tuesday, Thursday schedule, with most of the assignments in my English 101 being due on Friday. So my TRS has a Monday, Wednesday schedule, my English 101 Tuesday and Thursday. Sorry about that little thing there. And also stagger the due dates. This provides students with a realistic timeline to tackle assignments in both sections, and it helps students feel less overwhelmed by both sections happening kind of at the same time. So you can see here's my TRS 099 due dates for basically the same time of the semester, the beginning of February and the end of January, and the same thing here over